Welcome to today's news wrap up. Let's dive right into the top stories making headlines today. President Trump's Golden Visa initiative is generating significant revenue for the U.S. economy by selling visas at $5 million each. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick highlighted its success, revealing that 1,000 visas were sold in just one day, bringing in $5 billion. Trump anticipates the program could attract millions of buyers with funds directed towards infrastructure and reducing national debt. While the scheme requires thorough vetting to prevent entry of undesirable individuals, Trump remains confident in its potential. The program has sparked discussions about its economic benefits and challenges tied to managing such a large-scale initiative. The president of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Felix Tshisekedi, I'm going to kill his name, Felix Tshisekedi, has proposed a partnership with the United States to combat the M23 rebel group in exchange for exclusive access to the country's vast mineral reserves, valued at $24 trillion, trillion with a T. Tshisekedi's offer aligns with President Trump's newly launched U.S. Sovereign Wealth Fund, which aims to secure critical resources like cobalt, lithium, and copper while reducing reliance on China. I mean, this would be a great deal. The Congolese leader emphasized the potential for job creation and economic growth through mineral extraction and processing. This partnership seeks to bring stability to a region plagued by conflict and to strengthen ties between the two nations. Meanwhile, concerns about Chinese infrastructure and Congo's infrastructure and mining operations remain a key factor in negotiations. Elon Musk is planning to sue Jamal Bowman after Bowman made defamatory remarks during a CNN interview accusing Musk of being a thief and a Nazi. You know, Bowman, the same dude that interrupted Congress voting because he pulled the fire alarm and nothing happened. He didn't get any trouble for it. But since Bowman is no longer a congressman, he does not have the legal protections that would shield him from defamation lawsuits. While defamation laws set a high bar for public figures, Musk appears confident in pursuing legal action due to the malicious tone of Bowman's statements. The incident has reignited discussions around public discourse, accountability, and the potential consequences of baseless accusations made in the media. CNN handling of the remarks has also come under scrutiny, raising questions about journalistic responsibility. Weirdo Congressman Jasmine Crockett has come under scrutiny for benefiting from taxpayer-funded perks while opposing direct refunds to citizens. I mean, what a hypocrite, right? Crockett, who dismissed Elon Musk's suggestion for a $5,000 refund check from government savings, because he was like, "Oh, people don't need that." I mean, the way she said it, she just put it offhand remark was just ridiculous. But is reported to lease a luxury car costing nearly $1,000 per month, paid for by taxpayers. I mean, wow. Additionally, she received over $20,000 in lodging and a meal allowance that $20,000 in lodging and meal allowances last year. So they don't even have to pay for food or anything. That's crazy. I didn't know that. On top of their salary. But critics argue her use of such benefits contradicts her stance on fiscal responsibility and raises ethical questions. Watchdog groups have called for more transparency regarding taxpayer money, regarding how taxpayer money is spent in cases like Crockett's high-end vehicle lease. The controversy highlights concerns about government accountability and spending practices. It's okay for them to receive money and spend money like crazy, but how dare us ask for our money back? How dare us get a refund, right? It's ridiculous. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announced the return of nearly $1 billion in federal funds after collaborating with Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency. DeSantis highlighted that these funds came with ideological conditions from the Biden administration, which Florida sought to avoid. The state plans to continue identifying unused federal funds for potential refunds. Musk praised the move, emphasizing the savings for taxpayers. This initiative aligns with Florida's broader effort to eliminate waste, modernize governance, and ensure fiscal accountability. A recent poll revealed the Democratic Party favorability has plunged to 29%, marking a significant loss of support among moderates and working class voters. You know, we talked about that before. Well, former Clinton pollster Mark Penn highlighted this dramatic shift, calling it unprecedented in his 4 decades of polling. Wow. Critics attribute this decline to the party's growing reliance on left-wing advocates like Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who've been actively promoting the party's platform. Efforts such as People's Town Halls are being launched to rebuild support in Republican-controlled districts. However, divisions within the party persist, with conflicting views on how to address challenges like government spending and reforms proposed by Trump. I talk about this time and time again. These are 80-20 issues. 80% of the American people are behind these government cuts and stuff. So the Democrat Party want to be so opposed to Trump that they're going to be part of that 20%, which is just ridiculous. And it's going to be their downfall. Chief Justice John Roberts has faced scrutiny over his past association with the Edward Koch appellate end of court, a group linked to controversial judicial figures like Judge James Boasberg. And Boasberg previously blocked Trump use of the Aliens Enemies Act to expedite deportations of alleged gang members. Now, John Roberts, you know, there is a John Roberts name that popped up on the Epstein list that from the flight logs. We know that John Edwards been to Epstein Island. He flew on Lolita Express, and it's been a lot of people saying like maybe he is that John Roberts that was mentioned on the flight logs. And this is so that these people control John Roberts. I mean, these are just some allegations that's been floating around. Well, although Roberts left the group in 2005, critics suggest these ties reflect broader institutional loyalty within the judiciary. Roberts recently defended judiciary independence, stating impeachment is not a proper response to disagreements over rulings. Well, it's definitely part of our Constitution. We are allowed to, Congress is allowed to impeach these judicial judges. But his comments have reignited debates about the judiciary's role in relationship with political agendas. We know that these activist judges are ruling from the bench, which is ridiculous. We know that. The FBI has issued a bulletin warning about threats from far-left extremists targeting Tesla properties due to Elon Musk's involvement in reducing government waste under the Trump administration. Attacks have occurred in multiple states since January involving arson, gunfire, vandalism, with incidents largely taking place at night. Now, this is crazy. I think George Soros is behind all of this stuff that's happening right now. They are so mad that Elon Musk is going in and pulling out all this fraud and waste that they're fighting against it. They're doing everything they can to try to ruin Elon Musk. The FBI highlighted the use of improvised tactics and warned the public to stay vigilant near Tesla facilities. Elon Musk condemned the violence as unjustified and announced increased security measures, including activating Sentry mode on Tesla vehicles to capture footage of incidents. President Trump labeled the attackers as terrorists and promised strict legal consequences, including a 20-year prison sentence, a potential 20-year prison sentence. The events have sparked concerns about rising political tensions and targeted acts of violence. Michelle Obama expressed surprise over the controversy surrounding her school lunch program, which aimed to improve nutrition standards and encourage healthier eating habits. Well, it's because the school lunch program was starving kids. Like, we had big football players and stuff like that only getting small amounts of calories, whereas when you're a teenager, you're growing, you need these calories, especially if you're in sports, you're playing basketball, football, and stuff like that. You need these calories, and they were literally starving children in school is why people was against it. Well, she noted that her initiative launched during her time as First Lady faced backlash for being labeled as overly controlling and partisan. Despite this criticism, she emphasized the program's success in updating school nutrition standards for the first time in decades, making food labels clearer for families. Obama compared her efforts to recent statements by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and maintained that the initiative goals were ultimately achieved. No, it wasn't. You were starving children. The criticism of the program include complaints about unappetizing meals, prompting later adjustments under the Trump administration to allow for more flexible menu options. The debate reflecting differing views on government involvement in promoting public health. Lastly, House Speaker Mike Johnson announced efforts to address perceived abuses by activist federal judges, including the introduction of legislative actions such as Representative Darrell Issa's bill aiming at curbing nationwide injunctions. Johnson highlighted what he called a constitutional crisis, and I would agree with it, citing the unprecedented number of legal challenges President Trump has faced, particularly those halting his policies. I think the number was somewhere in the 600 of legal challenges that's going on right now. It's crazy. But he expressed concerns over judicial independence, criticizing decisions like Judge Tanya Chunkin's ruling to access information about government efficiency employees, and Judge Beryl Howell's block on Trump borrowing law firm Perkins Coie from government dealings, even though we know how corrupt this law firm really is. Johnson emphasized the judiciary GOP's commitment to exposing individuals that he views as the most egregious offenders and restoring what is proper judicial oversight. But that's all for today's news wrap up. Stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.